Now, in 2001, my next guest was at the centre of the so-called Cash for Babies scandal that, well, shocked the whole world. Judith Kilshaw and her husband Alan, they paid to adopt twins on the internet, only to discover that another family in America had also handed over cash for the same babies. The story attracted international headlines and resulted in both families losing custody of the girls. Well, 23 years on, a new documentary is revisiting the story.
I was at home, sleep. My aunt called me up and she was like, Tronda, you're on the news for selling your girls.
Their case involves deceit, abduction, the internet. You know what people are saying about this case, that you sold your baby.
We weren't buying and selling babies. I wasn't, for sure. And I can't speak for them.
We're talking about two little girls, 6 months old.
Talking about children's lives, why are you talking about the money that was paid?
What you have done, Judith Kilshaw, would be illegal in this country.
Well, it wasn't illegal in America.
Well, Judith Kilshaw joins me now. Judith, it's 23 years on. Why did you want to make this documentary? Why was it so important to you?
I was approached by Firecrest and they told me it was all female documentary makers.
Right.
It would bring a woman's approach to the story, which is a sensitive story, and it needed a sensitive approach. And so I thought, I'm going to go with that.
It's a very complicated story. I mean, basically, the documentary focuses on three women. You know, one of them being yourself, Tranda, who gave birth to the twins. Vicky, who is an American lady who thought she had adopted them. She had an agreement.
Well, she didn't adopt them. No, they were placed there.
That's right. So she had them in her house for a short time.
Yeah.
You didn't know about that.
No.
You come along, you pay, and took the kids back to the UK.
Yeah, we paid Tina, not Tranda.
This is it, because Tranda, the mother, it comes out, didn't actually get the money. The money was by the person who was brokering
Tina Johnson.
But I wondered why you went online, because, of course, the internet was in its infancy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You went online, you didn't try and adopt in the UK. You had 4 kids already, but you didn't try and adopt in the UK. Did you not think that that would happen if you did that?
I thought that at the time there was cases where people wanted to adopt, but they were told they were too fat, they were too old, they were too thin.
Things have changed.
Things have changed now, haven't they? So it was rigid. And as far as I knew, and I wrote to my MP at the time and said, is it legal? And a professor actually told me to do it because he knew a private facilitator, and she'd brought about 800 children to the UK, being a private facilitator doing adoptions. So I thought, well, if it's above board, it's already happening.
Why did you want kids at that stage in your life, though? Because, you know, as we said, you already had 4 children.
I must be a glutton for punishment, mustn't I, really?
But you desperately wanted kids.
I thought we'd got a nice big farm, plenty of animals, shall we say comfortable off. And I thought, if we can help someone that's really suffering, this is what I really wanted, someone from the backstreet shambles that nobody else wanted, a forgotten child. And I thought if we could give them a good home with plenty of opportunity, that's what I wanted to do. But I ended up in America.
It went horribly wrong, though, Judith. I mean, it
did.
You know, you were, at one point, the most notorious woman, not just in the UK, but globally. I mean, the backlash, when you're in the centre of that, because when we actually see all these pictures of these wee kids and they're almost up for sale like puppies or kittens.
Yeah, I get that.
It's horrible. I mean, it is horrible. So you can understand why there was this backlash, and because it was so complicated.
Well, it was like that developed more from the Sun newspaper.
But did you and your husband not go to the Sun, though, and tell them?
He went to the Sun, I didn't go to the Sun.
So the thing was, you could probably have taken these kids back and lived in your farm and brought them up.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, but because the Sun got hold of the story, whether it was yourself, whether it was your husband,
it wasn't certainly me.
So they had the story and then it just went crazy. What was it like in the eye of the storm like that? Because...
Not very good, because in a way you were shut away from it, because...
They put you in a hotel, didn't they?
Yeah, shall we say certain papers put you in certain places, and I felt like I was locked in. I couldn't get away. Every time I tried to make a bolt for it, it was like, no, 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 have a cup of coffee, no, 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 we're going to do this.
It must have been so weird, though, because when you were in the hotel, were the kids with you? Were the twins with you? So they were with you through all that time. Then they got taken away, didn't they, because of the furore?
Yeah.
They were taken from you. And was that the last time you saw them?
Yes, but I knew where they were. Because papers were coming and saying that they're down the road from you, they're here, they're there. Do you want to go and see them? And I thought, no, I'm not going to put myself through all that. Can you imagine all that? I'm not doing it. I knew where they were, though.
When you look back at it, do you wish you'd never done it, or at least you hadn't gone to the paper?
I don't really know, in a way, because I think maybe some good's come out of it. Maybe it's highlighted that there was this going on and people were adopting from abroad. Maybe it's sort of highlighted people's plight, maybe in America. It may have done some good, I don't know, really.
Because the law was changed here. Because, I mean,
it was.
for goodness sake, the Prime Minister at the time, Tony Blair, was talking about your case. He was saying that it was horrific and awful. And he stood up in Parliament.
I don't really get on with him, to tell you the truth. I don't like him.
But how was that, though, to have you... You know, you're sitting watching that unfold and, you know, something...
Well, I thought he'd done that illegally because to speak in the House of Parliament over a case that's going to court, I would have thought a barrister or ex-barrister would have known better than to do that, really.
Parliamentary privilege. I think they are probably allowed to do that.
Well, they get a lot of privileges in Parliament, don't they?
If you, let us say, is there a part of you that always thinks what might have been? Like, if you'd be able to look after these girls?
Yes, I get that.
You know, rather than it turning... Because it was a circus, wasn't it? It was a circus. It was horrible.
Yeah,
when you see the footage on the documentary, it's actually heartrending, you know, when you see, because at the heart of it there's these two wee babies.
Yeah, yeah.
And do you think you could have given them a good life, Judith?
Yeah, I do actually, because if all things had been equal, we'd have stayed in the farm, they'd have had plenty of pets, they'd have had ponies, they'd gone to school, I'd hoped they'd have gone to university. And I hope they'd have grown up to be good, strong women. They probably have grown up to be good, strong women, in fairness to America parents.
So they're in the States now. Yeah. They're, what, 23?
Yeah.
Yeah, 23 years old. No contact, though? You don't have contact with them?
I would not push myself on them.
Right.
And if they wanted to contact me or ever needed to ask me a question, then I'm there for them. But I wouldn't sort of put myself in the arena and say, you've got to come and see me, you've got to talk to me. I'm not that... Don't
They
push
might
it.
want to. You know, they might want to when
Yeah,
you get a bit older,
hope they do.
and you would be open to that.
A nice phone call would be nice, wouldn't it? Just to say we're OK, we're doing fine, or we're getting married, or, you know.
Yeah, the thing about it is...
Can you imagine that wedding?
Yes, I know. But watching that documentary again, it's not... You know, you were at the time painted as the baddie of all baddies, right? You were.
Yeah.
I don't know how you coped with that or how you dealt with that, but you dealt with it actually with a lot of humour as well. But I don't think people understood your sense of humour, perhaps.
No, it's a slightly warped sense of humour, isn't it?
And they didn't get it?
No.
They didn't get it. But
she didn't eat the horse, Bram.
No.
No.
No. But again, there's the thing of no regrets in that sense.
No, not really, because... life, you can't pick and choose life. Fate has ways of throwing things at you, and perhaps this was my fate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to go down that path. Even if you don't want to go down, you're going down that path.
Well, I found the documentary a real eye-opener, and again, it just shows you that, you know, nothing is ever black and white.
Yeah.
Because on the surface, it looked like the original family who thought that they had the children, they thought that they had the babies, and they, on paper, looked like the perfect family. If you watch the documentary, you'll find out that's not
It slips away, doesn't it?
The case.
It slips away, the veneer really does. And I felt sorry for Vicky in a way, because her life was turned upside down. She lost a lot.
Yeah.
She lost the child that she had with her that wasn't adopted. She lost her husband, he died. So really, she had a lot of loss, didn't she?
She did.
So, I mean, I wasn't the only one that lost. She lost. Well, actually, I think everyone lost in it, didn't they, really?
It's a remarkable story. It really is. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
The baby scandal that shocked the world. It's on tonight at 9 o'clock on Channel 5. If you think you know this story, you don't.
Yeah.
That's all I would say
good.
about that.
It's good.
You really don't.